The first time I stood before the Galactic Assembly, I believed I was ready. Humanity had only joined the Interstellar Accord 3 years earlier. We were still the new species, the unpredictable ones. Too emotional, too resilient, too quick to fight, and too quick to forgive. The older civilizations watched us the way scholars studied unstable stars. And at the center of that scrutiny stood her radiance, Empress Valeth of the Zyran Dominion. The assembly hall orbited a dying blue star. The chamber itself was vast and circular, tiers of floating platforms spiraling upward like a cosmic amphitheater. Representatives from 1,000 worlds shimmered in bioluminescent robes, crystalline armor, vaporous energy fields. Translation drones hummed softly above our heads. I stood alone at the center platform. I was Commander Adrian Vale, chosen to speak for Earth after our defense fleet had intervened in a border conflict between the Dominion and the Threx Collective. We had acted without Assembly approval. We had saved a colony. Yes, but we had violated protocol. The chamber darkened. A column of silver light descended from the upper tiers, and she appeared within it. Valeth, tall, luminous, her skin carrying the faint iridescence of starlight. Her eyes glowed violet, not with softness, but with piercing clarity. A crown of shifting energy hovered above her brow, symbol of Dominion sovereignty. When she stepped forward, gravity itself seemed to bow. "Commander Vale of Earth," she said, her voice amplified across the chamber, smooth and unyielding. "You stand accused of military interference without sanction." Her words echoed in every language at once. "We intervened to prevent extinction," I replied, forcing steadiness into my voice. "Your fleets were 2 days away. 2 days was too late." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Valeth's gaze sharpened. "You presume to calculate Dominion response time? You presume superiority of judgment." "No," I said. "I presume responsibility." The silence that followed was suffocating. She turned to the assembly. "Behold humanity, barely admitted into our accord, and already they defy structure. They claim moral high ground while trampling order." The words struck harder than any physical blow. "Your species," she continued, looking directly at me, "confuses impulse with courage. You mistake disobedience for virtue." A few representatives pulsed in agreement. Heat crept up my neck, but I did not look away. "We act when lives are at stake," I said. "If that is disobedience, then perhaps your laws require revision." Gasps. Valeth's aura flared, light intensifying around her form. "You dare suggest the Dominion requires guidance from a fledgling world?" Her next words cut deep. "Humanity survives not because of wisdom, but because the galaxy has not yet decided you are inconvenient." The assembly stirred. The humiliation was complete. She raised her hand. "Earth will pay reparations for its interference. Your fleet will withdraw from Dominion borders. Further insubordination will result in expulsion from the Accord." The verdict was sealed. The chamber lights brightened, signaling dismissal. As I turned to leave, pride in tatters, her voice followed me, quieter but unmistakable. "Commander Vale." I stopped. Her gaze lingered on me for a moment longer than necessary. "You will remain in orbit tonight." It wasn't a request. The midnight summons. The message arrived at precisely 2300 hours station time. "Commander Vale, her radiance requests your presence in the inner sanctum. No escort. No explanation." The sanctum was restricted territory, reserved for sovereign deliberation. My security detail protested, but the summons bore the Empress's personal seal. Refusal was not an option. I was escorted alone through corridors carved from living crystal. The walls shimmered with embedded star maps, ancient conquests traced in faint gold lines. The air felt charged, like the calm before lightning. 2 silent guards opened towering doors. Inside, the chamber was nothing like the assembly hall. It was quiet, dim, intimate. The curved ceiling displayed the actual star outside, blue and dying, its flickering light casting shifting shadows across the floor. A single circular platform stood at the center. Valeth waited there, without crown or ceremonial regalia. She wore simple silver robes. Her luminous aura was subdued, almost gentle. For the first time, she looked less like a deity and more like a woman. "Commander," she said softly, "your radiance." She studied me in silence. "You are angry," she observed. I was publicly shamed. Yes. No apology followed. She stepped closer. "Do you know why?" "Because we embarrassed the Dominion." A faint smile touched her lips. "No," she circled slowly, assessing me like a strategist examining a battlefield. "I shamed you because the Assembly needed to see control," she said. "If I had defended you openly, the Dominion would appear weakened. Other empires would test us." I frowned. "So, I was a political sacrifice." "You were a demonstration." Her honesty stunned me. She stopped in front of me, close enough that I could feel the faint warmth radiating from her skin. "You acted without fear," she continued. "You risked your standing, your species' reputation, to save strangers. We would do it again." I know. That, more than anything, unsettled me. "Why call me here?" I asked. Her violet eyes softened, though only slightly. "Because what you did has consequences beyond politics." She turned toward the star overhead. "The colony you saved contained Dominion genetic archives. If the Threx had seized them, they would possess leverage capable of destabilizing half the quadrant." I stiffened. "We didn't know." "Precisely. You acted from principle, not strategy." "And that bothers you?" "It fascinates me." The word lingered between us. She faced me again. "You see weakness in order," she said. "But order prevents endless war. And hesitation causes it." Silence stretched. "You challenged me before the galaxy," she said quietly. "Few survive such audacity." "I didn't challenge you. I defended my people." "And that," she said, stepping even closer, "is why I called you." Her hand lifted, not touching, but hovering inches from my chest. "Tell me, Commander Vale, if the Assembly demanded Earth sacrifice one of its colonies to preserve order, would you obey?" "No," the answer came without thought. Her eyes flickered with something unreadable. "Then you are dangerous. Only to those who threaten us." A long pause. "You misunderstand," she said. "I do not fear you." She lowered her hand. "I admire you." The admission hung in the air like a fragile star. The turning point Valeth moved toward a console embedded in the wall. The star map shifted, zooming into contested territory. "The Threx Collective prepares retaliation," she said. "They believe your intervention signals an alliance between Earth and the Dominion." "Isn't it?" She looked at me carefully. "It could be." She expanded the projection. "Fleets gathered in hostile formation. They will strike within 72 hours. I exhaled slowly. "Then why reprimand us publicly?" "Because if the Threx believe we are divided," she said, "they will underestimate our unity." Understanding dawned. "You needed them to think we were fractured." "Yes. And now?" She stepped back toward me. "Now I need to know whether humanity stands beside us by choice, not pride." I studied her face. In the soft starlight, the Empress looked less invincible. "You called me at midnight," I said, "not to reprimand me, but to negotiate." Her lips curved faintly. "I called you because you speak truth when it is dangerous." The weight of her trust pressed heavily. "What do you propose?" I asked. "A joint defense initiative," she replied. "Publicly, we remain distant. Privately, we coordinate. When the threats strike, we respond together." "And after?" "After," she said quietly, "the galaxy will see what unity truly looks like." I considered the risk. Earth was still fragile on the interstellar stage. Aligning openly with the Dominion would make enemies, but refusing would isolate us further. "You shamed me before the galaxy," I said slowly. "Now you ask for my trust." Her gaze did not waver. "Yes." The honesty disarmed me. "I will need assurances," I said. "You have them. In writing." A flicker of amusement crossed her face. Spoken like a human. She extended her hand. This time, she did touch me. Her palm was warm. Energy pulsed faintly beneath her skin, not threatening, but alive. "For what it is worth," she said softly, "I regret the necessity of your humiliation." The words were almost private. "I'll survive," I replied. "I know." The Battle of Twin Suns, the Thrux attacked precisely on schedule. Black, angular warships tore through hyperspace near the border colonies. Dominion defenses activated. Earth's fleet arrived moments later, emerging in coordinated formation. The galaxy watched. Publicly, it appeared coincidence. Privately, it was strategy. I stood on the bridge of the UNS Resolute, directing squadrons alongside Dominion commanders through encrypted channels. Valeth herself commanded from her flagship. Her voice carried calm authority even amid chaos. "Commander Vale, your left flank is exposed. I see it. Trust me." A risky maneuver formed in my mind. Dominion cruisers, I ordered through the shared channel. "Prepare to pivot at my mark." There was a heartbeat of hesitation. Then Valeth's voice cut through. "Execute his command." The fleets moved as one. Human ships, built for adaptability, wove between Dominion vessels designed for raw power. The Thrux, expecting division, found coordination instead. The battle was brutal, but brief. When the final Thrux dreadnought fell, the message was clear. Earth and the Dominion were not fractured. They were formidable. Ending what the galaxy saw the assembly reconvene days later. This time, the chamber's tone was different. Valeth stood once more in silver light. "Let the record show," she declared, "that Earth's intervention was not recklessness, but conviction. In recent events, that conviction preserved Dominion security." Murmurs shifted, respect replacing skepticism. She turned to me. Commander Vale demonstrated that strength and principle need not conflict. Her next words resonated across the chamber. "The Dominion recognizes humanity as equal strategic partner." The humiliation of days before felt distant now. Later that night, another message arrived. "Inner sanctum. Midnight." I returned. She stood again beneath the dying blue star. "This one will collapse within a century," she said softly, gazing upward. "Everything does," I replied. She looked at me. "You endured my judgment. You orchestrated it." "Yes." A quiet moment passed. "The galaxy believes power comes from dominance," she said. "But true power comes from choosing who stands beside you. And you choose humanity? I choose you to speak for them." The words were heavier than any title. "You're trusting me again." She stepped closer. "I am." For a long moment, we simply stood there, two leaders from distant worlds, bound by conflict and respect. "You once said we confuse impulse with courage," I reminded her. "I was wrong. And now?" She met my eyes. "Now I understand that courage sometimes disrupts order so that something stronger can emerge." Outside, the dying star flickered. Not an ending, a transformation. Valeth extended her hand once more. This time, there was no political theater, no assembly, no watching galaxy. Just two beings choosing alliance. I took her hand, and somewhere beyond the station walls, the galaxy shifted, subtly but irreversibly.